Hey, I'm Dr. Toby. Welcome to the Rehab mobile channel. In this video, I want to help people who are having pinching. If you're a lifter and you're having pinching in your shoulder and you want to find a basic routine that's going to help you to address the basic underlying issues that are causing that pinching or that clicking pain in your shoulder when you're lifting, this is going to be extremely helpful for you. By the way, we're a channel that helps people to stay healthy, pain-free, fit, and mobile. And so if those are things that you want to achieve, you can stay connected to all of our videos by hitting our subscribe button. So what we're going to teach you right now is going to help you in terms of some basic routines that you can do to help reduce and prevent pinching in the shoulder, which can be caused from a multitude of reasons. So let's get right into it. One of the things that I want to show you is a series of basic low-level exercises that you should be able to do if you're somebody who's a lifter. Maybe a lot of times if you've been doing the overhead press, or if you've been doing exercises that involve bench pressing, you'll feel some clicking or pinching. There are a couple of things that you really want to do. One thing that you want to know is stretching is going to be important, and there's a series of stretches we have on some of our videos that you can take a look at to help stretch out those areas. But one of the biggest things I'm going to show you are some basic exercises. First is going to be what's called a McKenzie Technique, and this is an exercise that you want to do to distract and open up the space in that shoulder joint. So within our shoulder joint, we have a lot of nerves and tendons that run through our joint, and at different points in the positions of our exercise, we're going to get more compression of that joint depending on if we have proper stability at our muscles. And so this exercise is going to be helpful. One of the things that you can do is with a chair, all you're going to do is you're going to grab this chair. Let's assume that my right side is where I have the pinching sensation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull straight down. So what I'm doing, I'm grabbing this chair and I'm pulling pressure down. It looks like, it may not look like I'm doing anything. What I'm doing is I'm pulling straight down, kind of like I want to push the chair through the ground. I'm pulling down, and I'm going to continue that pressure as I walk back. I'm keeping that pressure down as I'm walking back. And I'm keeping that pressure like I'm pushing the chair through the ground. And now I'm keeping that pressure, walking right back up. Okay, so I would want to do this about 3 or 4 times in a concert. And the other way that you can do it is, this chair is a little bit higher. I'd want a chair where my arm could really rest down. You could do the same exact concept. I wouldn't want to be here because, as you can see, my shoulder is shrugging up a little bit more. So for me to start in this position, my shoulder would be a little bit shrugged. So I'd want a chair or some kind of surface like a table where I could put pressure while my arm is in a nice resting position and walk straight back. So in this case, since this chair is a little bit higher, what I'm going to do, I want my shoulder again in that nice alignment. Don't want it hiked up. That's going to encourage more of that impingement. I'm here, push, and I walk back. And I'm still pushing, and I walk back. Just like that. So couple different ways to do it. But again, you can be here. You want to start nice and tall, push that pressure down, push that chair, and walk back. So that's the first one. The other thing that you want to do, which is similar to what we just did, is in terms of what it's resulting in, is doing a plank. So basic forearm plank is going to be pretty helpful for you. All right, so get in that forearm plank position. Really get that chest away. Don't let your body cave in. Get that chest away from the ground and let your head relax. And so when you're doing these exercises prior to your lift or prior to working out, you don't want to tire your body out. So for example, if I'm doing this plank, I might do 15-second holds, 3 sets, might do 20-second hold, 3 sets, depending on how I'm feeling in terms of, I don't want to do it in such a way where it feels like I've already worked out before I start my lift. I want to feel like my muscles are primed, are alert and ready for activity and flowing with blood, but I don't want to wear them out before I start doing my actual activity, because if you're worn out by the time you start doing the bench press or the flies or doing the overhead press, if you're already worn out, just by virtue of your muscles being more tired, they may not be stabilizing you as much, and you may feel pinching in that scenario. So these are really meant to be very basic and not strenuous. So that's why you want to do 3 reps or 4 reps, doing 3 or 4 reps of this with a low amount of holds in terms of the duration for which you're holding it. The other exercise you want to do is shoulder extensions. And this is going to help to open up our shoulder joint in a way that we typically don't. But the key with this exercise is that you want to make sure as you do this shoulder extension, you're keeping your shoulders down. So keeping those shoulders down and back. Down and back. One of the ways that I like to do is hand over hand, and I'm actively pulling my shoulder blades down to allow me to really get that motion. You don't want this where your shoulder is rotating up or rotating forward and encouraging more of that impingement position. So this is really a basic thing you can do, and I would maybe do one hand over the other, pull those shoulders down, pull back, want that chest up nice. Don't want those shoulders rolling forward. Want it nice and back. Do 2 reps like that. Hold each one for maybe about 5 seconds. Same thing like this. And pulling those shoulder blades together, down and together, and relax. And again, it's not meant to be strenuous. It's meant to prime those muscles, improve and increase that joint space. And that's going to be very helpful for you in terms of reducing that pinching. This is a very basic progression. There are some more advanced things that you can do. But hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, like it and leave a comment. Let us know what you found most helpful about it. You can also share it so somebody else can benefit from this video. And thanks for subscribing. Again, if you're somebody who wants to get specific guidance on what issues you're dealing with, maybe you've been dealing with issues in terms of the shoulder for way too long. And one of the reasons why people continue to have issues with their shoulder is that maybe they try to do the wrong thing to take care of it. They try to rest it more or avoid exercises that have been causing that pain. But the pain sometimes can be your friend. It's letting you know that there's something that's wrong, either with your form, either with your strength, or with your coordination. And the reason why the activity like the plank is so helpful is because there's so many guys who are lifters who do exercises like shoulder shrugs. So shoulder shrugs, they do these kind of exercises, and what happens is it causes your upper trap, this muscle here, to be overactive. And when it's overactive, what happens is you're gonna start lifting heavier weights, especially if you're somebody who's trying to bulk up or get bigger, or you just lift heavy. You're gonna start finding that as you're lifting heavier weights, that muscle is gonna be one of the factors that causes impingement to your shoulder, because it's a muscle that you're overusing and it's causing more compression to your shoulder joint. And so one of the things that you wanna do is that this plank is helpful because it's going to help to inhibit that upper trap muscle from being overactive and causing some of that discomfort. So most guys are lifting heavier than they should be, or lifting heavier than they really are able to be. So they're able to get the weight up there. If you're doing maybe like an overhead press or incline press, they're able to get the weight, but they're doing it in a way that's activating muscles that don't need to be activated, like your upper trap, and it's causing shoulder hiking those shoulders up. And it's very subtle things that happen during the lifting process, but it's going to contribute to that pinching. So these exercises are going to be very helpful for those contexts, especially if you're haven't done anything in terms of addressing that pinching. But the best thing that's going to help you is to get somebody who's going to actually know exactly what's going on, talking to a PT first. And we have a link in our description of this video. Hit that link in our description, because it's going to be very helpful for you when it comes to getting specific guidance on why you have the pinching, because it can come from a couple of different things. And the best way to know is to talk to a rehab specialist who is a shoulder expert, like our team, who can tell you exactly what's going on. So hit that link. It only takes 30 seconds to fill it out, and we'll be able to give you some more specific guidance on what things you need to be doing and why you're having shoulder issues in terms of pinching. So again, if you found this video helpful, like it, leave a comment, share it, and thanks for hitting the subscribe button. See you in the next video.